Welcome back, Curriculum Mappers. I'm getting a little tired. This is my 7th video today. So this will probably be the last one for today, but we've done a lot, and the thing I want to cover today is how we can take that import of our Autocrat sheet, which I explained in the last video, and how we can bring that over into our file cabinet view. So getting it in there is a piece of cake. However, making it stick is a little more challenging. We're going to have to dive back into our Google Apps script again. So get those hacking gloves and coding hats out again because we're going to get dirty. So let's just first explore the formula that we're going to be working with so we know what's happening with the data. So in cell R3, I have an array formula combined with a VLOOKUP formula. Now, as I explained in an earlier video, I can use the document ID, right? I can reference this information to align information from this sheet. Okay, so here's what's happening. Let me go back over to R. I'm telling this sheet to go ahead and look up anything in column from B3 down, basically. And I know that that is my document ID. And then I'm saying it, take that information and look it up over in the import sheet in between this range, K to Q. So if I go over to my import sheet and I go over to K, notice how column K, this again is my document ID. And I'm going all the way over to Q. So this is the information, the range with which I am looking stuff up. Okay, coming back to the formula. Then I'm saying bring back the second index in that range. In other words, looking at that range, give me the data in the second column. So if we go back again, we notice that if K is column 1, L is column 2. And we notice all of this information is related to the subject area. And because this is an array formula, there's no need to copy down. It will populate the entire array with the corresponding data. So that's what we have going on here. And then doing the other columns is really easy because it's just a matter of switching out the index number. So notice how here I have a 3, and over here I've got a 4, a 5, and a 6, so on and so forth. So that part's easy, and you can be quite happy with the result that you get. The problem is that this script functions in that it's looking for new units every night. So, and this is a good thing because you don't want to sit there and have to manually manage a spreadsheet. So, but as a consequence, any formulas that you put in here will be overwritten and erased when the script runs again. Let me say that again. Any formulas that I include in the spreadsheet, when the script runs itself overnight, are going to erase and overwrite that data with blank data. So this was something I had to solve early on, and here's how I did it. So if you jump back into your spreadsheet code, the first thing I want you to do is go down to around line, we'll say, let's take a look here. I think around 55. And just kind of make sure that your letters here are H and I, just because when we added the editor column, a lot of things shifted by 1. So you may need to shift your columns here. Also, we want to change the sort column to number 9. It's probably a 10 in your case. If you want to change that to 9, and then make it true instead of false. So what this is going to do is put the oldest units at the top. And I'll get into why this is important a little bit later. But just trust me on this, that you want to make this true instead of false. Now, as we go further down, after the folder ID variable, we need to add another variable called formulas. All right. Now this looks complicated, but it's really quite simple. So those formulas that we populated in this spreadsheet here, they need to be added to the script, okay? They need to be added to the script in order for them to survive the refreshing of the script. So you can kind of bake them in here into a variable, and you may not need all the ones that I have in here, right? Because I think you probably only have 3 or a maximum of 4 columns. So they can go into a line right there. And then if we continue perusing down the Google Apps script, this is where you can kind of do an interesting thing, we'll call it. I'm going to call it a thing. I want to make sure my letters correspond here as well, M, H, and I, because this should be what you have as well. But I'm going to take my range, R through W right here. This is not currently in, if you've been following all of these tutorials, this is not in your script. And what this does is it basically erases that entire range. And then it's going to get that range again and set the formulas, meaning that it'll put those formulas into that range as such. Okay? So in a way, we are basically telling the sheet when it runs, first erase everything, then put these formulas in there, which will consequently repopulate my database. And then again, make sure that your sorting is true and it corresponds to column 9 again. Okay. So, and the reason we're sorting by oldest to newest is that when I had it as false, the formula kept repopulating one row down each time. It didn't stick in like R3 or S3. The formula kept dancing on down. So by sorting it a different way, the script keeps that formula right here. So I know this is a kind of a complicated concept to grasp, but that's essentially it. That when the script refreshes overnight, it will clear all of this and then immediately repopulate it because these formulas are included in that script. I'm sure we'll have a lot of discussion about this in the community. Thanks for watching. Bye.